Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is the last of the requests for X-Ray Punch, because he wanted me to play Final Fight Streetwise, which I did, and I enjoyed the game. I thought it was a fun game. I really enjoyed the combat. I could easily play the game again. It was fast-paced. Some of the mini games were fun. The bosses were challenging enough. Got to find their patterns. The story had a B-movie quality. Resident Evil, like zombie, like possessed. Didn't think that would be a thing. And yeah, I didn't mind the urban hood aesthetic. Some people didn't like that. I did. Overall, thought it was a fun game, despite some flaws here and there. But he wanted me to do. See, the arcade portion, I did that as part of the last of those videos. And he wanted me to react to this, which I guess was the first Final Fight game they were going to do for PlayStation 2, but was canceled. And I looked up, apparently what had happened was they made the game, or they were making it, and someone, the marketer, someone had said, well, we're not sure if the audience would care about some of the visual. Not sure the visual style will work with the core audience. Something that they said, and then the team misinterpreted and said, oh, they don't like the game at all. So let's change the game top to bottom and make it more hood, urban. Thus the game you got, Streetwise, which didn't do that well. I think it flopped, and I don't know if there was another Final Fight game afterward. If there was, not for a long time, but apparently this is the first prototype, and this is a 9-minute and 53-second video. Which, I mean, I like the game that we got. This is the game they were going to make. But, I mean, more Final Fight would have been cool to see, whatever. Well, let's see how this goes. I'll pause at the beginning. I know I'm 2 minutes in. If anyone wants to request any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, topics, reactions, commentaries, video game playthrough, tier lists, PayPal is the best way to do it. Do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. So I'm pause at the beginning. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. Alright, Final Fight. 7 Sons. Hope it's not the 7 Dwarves. New game, load game, okay. Loading, load my balls. Obviously this is rough quality video, so it's not the best looking. Interesting, it's got a cell shading look to it. The combat seems pretty fast. That kind of looks like how Hagar would fight that bop and then bring both hands down. Kind of like how Hagar would fight in the arcade portion of Final Fight Streetwise. Oh, you could grab items? That's cool. Well, I mean, you could grab them in Final Fight Streetwise, maybe like a chair or a stool, but not that. This, I don't know why this reminds me of Die Hard Arcade. That's what it reminds me of, Die Hard Arcade. Which, I mean, Die Hard Arcade is a very fun game. I have that on my PlayStation 3. Very fun game. I love it. Very fun. So much fun. Yeah, the arrows, that's kind of like your Final Fight Streetwise later on. You beat the shit out of people. In a way, this is kind of like what you have with the arcade portion of Final Fight Streetwise. The cell shading, I'm not sure. I kind of like the way it looks in Streetwise more. Like Streetwise, I kind of like the way the characters look in that. A bit more in this. Yeah, but this one definitely seems like much more of a brawler so far. Which makes sense, because that's what Final Fight was, a brawler. So it looks fun. Because in the game we got Streetwise, it was... You could fight people on the street, but You could get moves at the gym. There's some mini games you could do. It's kind of like you could. I mean, I guess you would say like Grand Theft Auto, but much smaller area. You go in places you want to buy food or you want to buy, other stuff. And then you traverse with the story, and then you'll fight in the bar and stuff. So it was still enough of brawler aspects. But so far, this was strictly brawler. I like that you just get the meter, beat the shit out of people. Nice. Beat the fuck out of them. Okay, so this is... Damn, he jumped right down. Damn. Techno, what is it, the Matrix? Yeah, definitely looks like you got a lot more combo stuff here. You do pick up combos in Streetwise. Rage. I know in Streetwise there's the instinct thing. So I guess here is Rage. We press L2. Got the burgers, which there's burgers you can pick up in Streetwise. I did. Streetwise came after this. So they cancel this and they make Streetwise. Yeah, this one is definitely much more of a just brawler. Kind of like, it's not a brawler, but like Evil Dead Fistful Boomstick. There's a lot. Which, I mean, I would say more so like Die Hard Arcade. That's what Tease made you think of as Die Hard Arcade. Which, that's a fun game, so... Now, that thing where he does like a flip... You could do that as Kyle in Streetwise. I don't know how the hell I did it, though. I would just do it by accident. But it's kind of that bat flip move. Okay, he threw, kind of like how... Oh, shit. What the fuck? Well, that's definitely different. What the fuck? He got steroids. What the fuck happened to him? He's a... Whoa. Okay, that was different. So I guess obviously a limited amount of time makes sense. We got barrels. Yeah, this one. What the hell are Dumb and Dumber over there? These fat asses. Oh shit. Cannonballs. And a Spitfire? What, you Dawson? Yoga Flame! There's some fat asses. They got some fat asses. He's Samoa Joe. Two Samoa Joes, he's fat! Oh shit. That's Scott Steiner would say. He's fat! Watch out. Oh, you got... Oh no, you don't have it. I thought... I was going to say you got a time limit, but no, it's going up, so I guess like the quicker you get through it, you maybe get something. I'm curious, like, how does saving work? Do you have to beat the whole thing and then you can save? Or does each screen is save? Or... Huh. Oh, where are we going to? Subway. I like the music. I do like the music. Yeah, in Streetwise there's a lot more hip-hop songs, which is why I couldn't use a lot of the music, because I was afraid YouTube would block it. Because there was like Mos Def and not just rap, but there was Slipknot and stuff, and a lot of artists that you'd recognize, so I'd be scared that YouTube would block it. Other people have it, well, it doesn't matter. YouTube can pick and choose whatever they want. Okay, those were definitely in the original Final Fight, those guys with the knives, and they would jump and go hone down on you. I remember that from the original Final Fight. And they kind of look like these punks. So... What's this song? I like this song. Come on, yeah, beat the shit out of him. Ooh, shit. Yeah, watch out for that train. It's the money train. What are you doing? Ooh. Stab the shit out of him. I think this could have been a fun game. I mean, again, I actually liked the game that we got, but this would have been fun too. I'm guessing this would have been more what people wanted out of a Final Fight game. Because that's what it is. It's a brawler. You go. It's a beat 'em up game. You go in, you beat the fuck out of people. You go to the next thing, you beat the fuck out of people. Like I said, I kind of like the... Yeah, like the dart and the... Some of the mini games were weird. Like the killing the rats and roaches. That's weird. I wonder if they explain what the deal is with that, with the rage. It's like... Did you see, like, your original version kind of sit there for a bit? Like, doing this? It was like a Bruce Banner Hulk thing? Maybe he took steroids to get that way. Yeah, I don't know who this character is either. Maybe it's a brand new character made for the game. Because in Streetwise, it was Cody's brother, Kyle. So, would this be Cody's brother? Would this be a friend? Would this be just a brand new character and the other characters? It's weird that even with this prototype, you don't play as Cody or Guy or Hager. It's just that I would think if you reboot Final Fight, you'd want to bring the characters that people played as in those original games, but... Which I never played Final Fight 2 and 3, I only played the first one for Super Nintendo. And I played the arcade game a long time ago. I'm sure there's other Final Fight games, but... I've only played the Final Fight arcade and Final Fight 1 for Super Nintendo. That was when I played the most. Anyway, Final Fight 2 and 3 I haven't played. I'd like to one day. That's always... Oh shit, what the hell happened there? I don't know, the camera got all screwed, I couldn't tell. I think he did a... Oh shit. That's a hell of a fucking pile driver. How the hell you do that? I know as Hager in the arcade portion, if you grab him, he'll do a pile driver, which is cool. I wish you could play as Hager in the main game. Oh shit, that's it? Damn. I was waiting, I wanted to see more. Damn, that went by quick. That was 9 minutes, almost 10. Damn, that went by quick. I was getting to it. I'm like, what's next? So, okay. So again, from what I understand, they were making the game. They showed like test footage, and I guess either the marketers or someone, I don't know the details, said. Not sure with the core audience if they're, it's a fun game, but not sure if they're with the visual. Which maybe they were talking about the cell shading. Because I just say, again, the cell shading is interesting. It's like trying to be... What was that? Jet Set Radio? Wasn't there a game like Jet Set Radio or something? I forget what it was. Because I never played it. I remember back in the day. Vaguely. I mean, cell shading can work. Maybe in better picture quality and you see it all the way through. It could be an interesting aesthetic visually. But I actually like the way the characters look in Final Fight Streetwise. I had no problems with the way the characters look. The environments seem a bit, scummy, but it should be, because it's a rundown neighborhood. It's not the most visually dynamic environment, I'll give you that, but I mean, I didn't hate it or anything. Maybe because I don't know. Maybe it's low expectations, but like I said, Final Fight Streetwise, I actually liked it. I thought it was a fun game. Does it have flaws? Yeah. Sometimes you get knocked down. It's like forever to get back up. And they have the original Final Fight arcade game you could play. It's a horrible emulated version because it's a lot of slowdown. I think there's another PlayStation 2, like a Capcom Classics compilation. Like, they have a bunch of arcade games. I think that's the better way to play Final Fight if you want to play the arcade version on PlayStation 2. Because for some reason, the one they have on Final Fight Streetwise is a terrible emulated slowdown version. And then the other arcade where you just go around and you try to survive as long as you can. There's an annoying bit where when people surround you, By the time you get back up, another hits you, then another hits you, another hits you. It could be very, very cheap. Very cheap. I'm sure it's doable, but just it's purposely supposed to be paying. But it seems very cheap. But the main game, like I said, it's sad you don't get to play as Guy, Hatter, or Cody in the main game. But and the main guy is trying so hard to sound like Solid Snake. Colonel, where's Metal Gear? Like he's talking like that. But I mean, it becoming, like I said, kind of a Resident Evil. There was a B-movie charm, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. It was goofy, it was silly, but I was having fun. At the end of the day, it was fun. That's all I want out of a game, is to be fun. And other than that annoying fucking escort mission, there was like a couple annoying things. The Fight Club aspects were a bit annoying because you're so fucking slow and you couldn't do a whole lot of dodging or stuff because it just moves so slow in the Fight Club sections. There's that bit where there's a fire and there's a time limit, and if you don't know where to go, it could be very stingy time limit. And then the escort mission, because you can't tell them how to move, the two people you're with. And then there's zombies with fucking bombs. I'll call them zombies. They took too much glow. Not the soul glow from Coming to America, but glow took from Reanimator. Really, it looked like Reanimator jizz. If you ever seen Reanimator. There's some with a fucking bomb, and you try and get away, and they blow up, and then the fucking terrorists lose half their life or all their lives. I'm like, fuck, it took me like 3 or 4 times to get through it. And there seems like there should be a save, like a checkpoint, and there's not, and that pissed me off, so. But other than that, it was fun. I beat it in, 6 parts? And the last part was longer because I added the arcade mode on there. So technically with the arcade mode, if I put it in hour by hour, it would have been 7, but... So it didn't take too long at all. You know? I was able to... Well, I split up to 2 days, but if I wasn't recording, I probably could have beaten it in 1 day. So, I mean, it wasn't so mind-numbingly tough that it was just stressing me out or anything. I did the bosses, you could notice the patterns. I did pretty good on the bosses, probably from luck. And yeah, get back to this, sorry. I liked it. I liked what I saw. Again, it would have brought more of what... If people were wanting just the old school brawler aspect... And the camera work seemed not too bad. I guess it's kind of the camera's here and it just goes back and forth, left and right. Like on a rail. So it didn't seem like you had too many camera issues. So the way you would center the environments would hopefully work in that favor. I'm repeating myself, but it just reminded me of Die Hard Arcade, which is a good thing because I really love Die Hard Arcade. So if it played like that, and you have a bit of a story, and you know, maybe still have mini games, the break up, because that's the problem with beat 'em up games, is they could be repetitive. That's why in Final Fight Streetwise, I never felt bored or the repetitive nature. I loved fighting the bad guys. There's a point that I was just kind of really interested to see where the story was going, so I would avoid some of them, but part of me kind of wishes I would have taken 1 more hour to search around town, find a bit more mini games, beat up a few more people. In retrospect, I kind of wish I had done that. Who knows, maybe if there's ever a time I revisit the game, do another playthrough for the shits and giggles, maybe I'll do all that. Who knows. But, yeah. This would have been fun to play. But I like the game we got as well. So, both. I like both. It'd be nice to have both. Bring Final Fight back. What was the last Final Fight game? I'm kind of curious now. Final Fight game franchise. I'm curious. What are all the Final Fight games? So you have Final Fight 1, 2, and 3. I played the first one, Super Nintendo. Did not play 2 and 3. There's Final Fight Guy, which that was for What was Final Fight Guy? And there's Final Fight 1. That's why I click on it and it's not telling me what it is. A revised edition of the Super Nintendo port titled Final Fight Guy was released in Japan. Instead of Cody, Guy was a selectable character. There was 4 difficulty settings, 2 new power-ups. An American version of the game was released in June 1994 as a rental-only game at Blockbuster. Then there was Final Fight CD on the Sega CD. All the features of the arcade game that were removed for the 2 Super Nintendo ports. So you have the 2-player mode, the industrial area stage is put back in. You can play as Guy, Cody, and Hager. Adds voice acting to the game's opening and ending sequences. An arranged version of the original soundtrack. I gotta check to see if my emulator has Final Fight CD. If so, I may have to try that out sometime. Capcom Classes had Final Fight. That's the Capcom Classes collection, that's what it is. Final Fight Streetwise. There was Final Fight Double Impact. Arcade version. Oh, is that just the arcade version again? Yeah, this was the last Final Fight game. This was the last Final Fight game, 2006. Wow. So it really did kill the franchise. Final Fight 1 was Game Boy Advance. Mighty Final Fight was on Nintendo. Man. Sorry, I know that's boring, but I'm like, really? Damn. They have not made a Final Fight game since. That's too bad. That sucks. Well, what can you do? It's like, man, I mean, I don't think the game was that fucking bad. I mean, there's some flaws to it, sure, but I didn't think the Streetwise was that fucking bad. I don't know. Maybe this just maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. I mean, wasn't that fucking bad? I had fun with it. But I don't know, maybe it was the time period. If you're paying $50 for it and you love Final Fight 1 and then you see how it's very different and you know, it's not AAA rated voice acting and storytelling, and maybe you've seen a different tune. So there you go. But as for this version, would this version have done better? I don't know. Because if you're doing it with just go from place to place, beat everybody up, how long would that game be? Because like when I played this game, it took me what? I'm sure you could beat in 3-4 hours. Well, you could. I guess if you know exactly what you're doing and you skip the mini games, maybe 4 hours. But if you explore stuff, you know, it took me what? I guess 6 hours, give or take. That's without the arcade stuff. So, I mean, with this, would you be able to do it just for? I don't know. I don't know. Guess we'll never know. But I liked it. I did like what I saw. So, with that said, enough rambling. Thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks once again to XRay Punch. It was a lot of fun. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.